Good morning. The word for you today. Today is Thursday, March 14th, and our devotion today is the fourth part of Raising Great Kids in a Troubled World. Our devotion today comes out of the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 21, which says, "Fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become disparaged." So, we are talking about parenting. Now, I know that the verse says fathers, but I want us to take away our preconceived notions on what that word is referring to. All right? First things first, let's talk about the context that this verse is written in. This is written to a patriarchal society. Big fancy word, and all that means is that in this society, men were believed to be more powerful, more correct. Men had all of the social, political, economic power. Basically, men kind of ran the thing. Not a great system, in my opinion, because I don't think that it honors God's plan quite the way that they thought it did, but that's the system they were working under. So I would like to propose that when we read fathers in this passage, we substitute it with parents, because really this is talking about what we should do as parents. So we're going to reread this really quick. Parents, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged. Parenting is a hard job. I'm in my fourth year at college. I graduate this April, and my degree is all about family studies. And one of the earliest things we learn is that families, and especially the families that we have in our early life, has a profound impact on the way that we see the world, on the way that we interact with other people, and most importantly, the way that we continue the next generation. If you are a parent who isn't great, your kid's more likely to not want to be a parent out of fear that they're going to end up like that they're going to treat their child the same way. If you had a parent that was amazing and taught you well, you're going to want to emulate that. The reality is the parent-child relationship is one of the earliest ways that children connect to God. Here's what I mean by that. Whenever you're a kid, you are completely isolated in this world. You don't have any power. You can't control the things that happen to you. You have a set schedule. You have to go to school. You have to go to bed at a certain time. People tell you what to do, and you have to do it. Otherwise, you get in trouble. But you have your parents. And your parents, their job is to look out for you. Their job is to keep you safe and secure. And so as we get older and we start to learn more and more about God at age-appropriate levels, we start to understand that God has that same paternal and maternal instinct over us. That God, in the infinite wisdom of the Holy One, wants to see us succeed, wants to see us thrive, wants to see us be healthy and live a life that is good and fruitful. But when we don't parent well, we make it harder for our children to see God. I can give a personal example. My early childhood was fine, but there were definitely some struggles between me and my dad. It's not a secret, I don't hide that, but it was hard. And for a long time, it was hard for me to understand God as Father, because for me, Father was a negative word. For me, Father was somebody who was mean and was short-tempered, was somebody who would punish me for things that I didn't do, or he would dole out a punishment that was much more excessive than it needed to be. All that to say, when we parent, when we interact with the younger generation, and I'd like to throw this open to grandparents or aunts or uncles, anybody who is older than the people around them, when we interact with these younger generations, what you are doing is you are showing them examples of how God interacts with his people. Whether you think so or not, it's the truth. And I would challenge you, just like I challenge myself every time I talk to one of the youth in our church, or I talk to one of the children who go to our church, or when I work with children at my other job. every single time. What am I doing? How am I encouraging or discouraging them? And in what ways and how is that showing the love of God? Have a nice day.